Obviously in a season full of difficult losses, this one's up there. Thought we had a chance in the second half to where we were really humming offensively, and we just couldn't get stops. And obviously they're offensively they have some terrific players, with Green and Carter, but in the middle of the second half, it really wasn't those guys hurting us. We allowed Anderson to get 6 points on some easy ones where we just had breakdowns. Left Burhow to double the post. We're not supposed to, and gave up a wide open three. And there was just stretches there, and then down the stretch, it becomes a coin flip game. And usually in coin flip games, the team with the best player wins because he's able to kind of impose his will. And I thought Green was just obviously we couldn't get any stops down the stretch. He and Carter were terrific, but plays he made down the end there, I thought our defense was actually made it relatively tough. He just made his offense was better than our defense, and we sprinkled in a few turnovers in that stretch. We had a couple of stepped out of bounds and threw a bad pass, and got knocked to the ground, lost the ball. So we had I think 3 turnovers in that last 3 minutes that were painful. They made credit them. I thought they made a bunch of winning plays, and they didn't really beat themselves. We made some really good winning plays too, particularly offensively. We just made enough losing plays that in a game like this we weren't able to get over the hump against a really good team. So frustrating, but kind of the way it's gone for us, unfortunately.
Josh, they shot 67% in the second half, and throughout the game they were able to get the ball real close to the rim for easy conversions. What were they taking advantage of to get those dunks?
I thought our resistance in the post wasn't very good. I mean, I thought Carter was able to kind of get where he wanted to. That stretch where Anderson was able to get where he wanted to. We were trying not to switch certain guys on the green, so they were setting a lot of screens. We talked about trying to how we wanted to guard those was to show and try to get underneath. I didn't think our shows were very good, so then they were able to get downhill and turn the corner. They used Green as a screener because we were trying to only switch certain matchups on him. So they used guys Heisey and other guys to kind of screen and try to get him in advantageous matchups. And then I think Green, they did a lot of, post ISOing where they just, try to dribble us down. I thought they got the ball, where they wanted to. Second half, we couldn't get a stop. I mean, we could not stop the bleeding. And, against them, it's hard to go zone. They have so much shooting out there with Green, maybe should have, gone to something, and try to change it up. But we just couldn't. And really the guts of that second half in the middle part of it where I think Anderson got his 6 points. We had a reach on Carter where we just let him go down the lane. We had him walled up. We reach and give him a straight line layup. We had a couple of different breakdowns on some screening actions that they ran. They got 8 points on a simple slice screen down screen play that we went over. And that's kind of what I talked about in there. I really admire the way they're competing, but we've talked all year. It's not enough to play hard. You got to bring the detail to the game, and 8 points in that game, you lose by 6. It really it's really a 4-point game or whatever. That's the difference in the game. And not that those 4 baskets or 3 baskets were the difference, but you know what I'm saying. It's you take those away. You take away some scouting report plays. Let Bourne get downhill to his left hand a couple times. He drives left. That's a scouting report thing, and he got I think 2 or 3 layups going to his left hand, and got a couple and ones, and so you kind of add all those up, and then you add up the tough shots that Green and Carter made, and and now you're at 68%, and some of those so it's a combination of things that got them when you give up that type of percentage from the field, and so it was across the board.
They went zone when you guys were up 6, and I don't think it disrupted you. It disrupted you just long enough for them to get back into the game.
Yeah.
Is that another kind of one of those?
Yeah, no, they did. They went boxing one on Coop. And obviously we hadn't seen them played all year, so it wasn't something we were expecting. and we were trying to get them organized without using a timeout because of they used a timeout to put it I guess to discuss and go to it. We obviously didn't know what they were going to do when they came out of timeout, so we were just trying to get in the media and try to keep our timeouts late, make sure we could have something execution-wise. But yeah, I mean, I thought we were able to kind of utilize Cooper as a screener, and I thought we got some good stuff. We were able to get downhill and generate some wide open threes. We made some, we missed some, but we for the most part got pretty good shots. But I think it did take us out of rhythm there for 3 or 4 possessions, bought them enough time, with the way they were scoring, to level the game and get themselves back, even back in front. So I think we went up 6 to down 7 maybe in a stretch, and then we kind of were able to fight our way back. But I think our offense in that stretch, a couple possessions threw us off, and then I thought we did generate some pretty good stuff. To go back and watch the film, but I thought we got some pretty good looks at the basket. Just couldn't, at that time we struggled to make some. But offensively, we shot 57-58% ourselves, and our biggest issue in the end game was we had 3 or 4 pretty key turnovers at inopportune times, and we're asking guys, particularly Cam, to do a lot with the ball, and he's not, and AJ's been in those situations, his whole career in Northern Iowa. Cam at LMU was never in those situations. He wasn't a guy that was a closer for us. He's kind of closer by default here. So, it's we're asking him to do a lot, and he's got a lot of responsibility, and he's got to, take care of that. He and Coop are the main guys we're playing through there down the stretch of the game. They were boxing one on Coop, so we're using Coop as a screener to try to help, facilitate and get other guys open, and he did a great job of that. And again, when we didn't turn it over, I thought we got great stuff. We just, but that stretch, those 3 or 4 possessions, certainly caught us off guard.
Well, I mean, the level of frustration, when you look at it both box score-wise and eye test-wise, there's so many good things you are doing. I mean, you mentioned it, you guys shot 57% in the second half, which is normally a winning formula, especially at home. You out-rebounded them, had more assists than they did. Obviously, the things you're not doing well are hurting you in the turnovers, as you mentioned, but how frustrating is it? Because it seems like this team, they do good. They do good things.
Yeah, I've probably had a pretty charmed existence as a coach my first 13 years. Probably everything has come due in 1 year. These guys, I mean, it's not one thing. Like look at us offensively a lot this year. I mean, we've struggled at times offensively, and our defense has been better than our offense. I mean, people think, their offense, and I think that's a narrative that our offense is this and our defense don't defend. If you look at us in the league, I think we're 5th or 6th in the league in defense. Actually, we're 9th in offensive efficiency. We really struggle to score the ball. We struggle to make open threes. We struggle to make layups. And we struggle to take care of the ball, which is a formula to be a pretty bad offensive team. So like a night like tonight, in Southern Illinois, we score the ball really well. We just don't get stops. And then other nights, we struggle to score it, but we're defending. It's just we've had trouble putting together 40 minutes on both ends. And we've done it in sections, we've done it in portions, we've done it in spurts, we've come close. But putting together an entire 40-minute game, offensively and defensively, having enough guys play well, you got to have that to win in this league. It's not enough, and so. Like another night like tonight, we're in a dogfight late in the second half. I do admire, I have a lot of respect for the guys in that locker room, because it's really, really hard to do what they're doing, which is show up, work your butt off, prepare as well as you can, compete like that, and not get the results that you want, and not get rewarded. It's so easy when that happens over and over and over again to throw in the towel and be like, hey, you know what, we're done with this. And then you come in tonight and you lay down, you lose by 30, and everybody goes, well, Northern Iowa is a top team, Indiana State's a bottom team. It's so easy for guys to lay down and not to do what they're doing. It is so hard to do what we're asking them to do, and they've had so much heartbreak and so much adversity, and they fought through so much. They show up every day, ready to work, ready to compete, prepare, and we do a lot of good things. I mean, I think we've improved dramatically. The results don't show it, But I think we've improved dramatically. We played at Missouri State, even in this 4-game losing streak. How we played at Missouri State, how we played Southern Illinois. Even how we played Drake for most of the game. I thought the last 10 minutes were horrible, but prior to that, we were really good. Played a really good 30 minutes against Drake, and we were in position up, a couple there with 12, 13 minutes to go. And I thought that was the one game we faded, but Southern Illinois here, we played our tails off. Tonight, we played our tails off. We just couldn't get stops we needed to. It's been beyond frustrating, but these guys have shown up, done it. I've got an incredible amount of respect for the guys in the locker rooms. I know, I see them every day. I know how hard it is to do what they're doing, and you got guys in that bench crying after that game that are just, gutted. And, to their credit, losing has not numbed them. They feel it. They want to do well. We've just got to play a little bit smarter. And anytime there's been a break to be had, unfortunately, we haven't gotten the one yet. Whether it's a shot going on the rim, a call, a ball spinning out for us, it feels like any break that you could get has gone against us. So it's a combination of things, but I do think we're doing some good things. Thanks, guys.
Questions for our players.
Cam, a lot of fight again tonight. That's never a question, but the stops obviously difficult to get against Northern Iowa. How frustrating was it? I mean, to do so many good things that you guys did this game, and a couple of things you didn't do well, ultimately determined the outcome.
I just want to credit AJ Green and Earl Carter. Really, AJ Green down the stretch, he made a lot of big shots, and big-time players make big-time plays at the end of the game. You can't ask you to play any better defense on them. It's kind of like the same story when we come in at the end of every game. We're up at half, and then we end up losing down the stretch. I just feel like we just have to get way more experience with that. We're playing people that have been in this conference for 3-4 years, and they're been big players down the stretch. So we're asking guys to do a lot more than what they're used to doing, including myself, and I have to be better down the stretch taking care of the ball. I think I had like 2 or 3 key turnovers down the stretch that kind of messed our run up and got them going a little bit. So I'll take responsibility. I got to do way better.
For both of you guys, what do you guys feel like you are learning through these tough lessons? I mean, what do you feel like you are absorbing? What do you feel like is the most important thing to learn from this to get better moving forward?
I think we learned a lot. The one thing that I think we're really learning is just like becoming more of a team and sticking through it. Because I think I said before, when you're not getting the results that you're getting out there, putting in so much time and effort and work, it's easy to just blow, just fold. And I think our team, we know that we can be good, and I think we just learning to just stick together. And that's just something we've been big on and helping just keep fighting, because at the end of the day, we could be a team that will, but I think it's a lot of fighting this team. I think that's something that we're just big on as well.
I think just going through the experiences, like Caleb said, it's easy to just lose games like this, the way we're losing, and just go in there and not play hard the next game or not come to practice focused. And also, it's just building, it's a lot of first-time guys in this conference on our team. And it's just building those scars. We'll remember this for the rest of our lives, these losses that we took. This whole season we're going to remember. And I think just building those scars and coming back, and, I'm not trying to look to next year so quick. We have the tournament, and who knows what could happen in the tournament. We're going in there to win every game. We're not going in there to just sit down and just let people go over us. So I think just building these scars, and maybe we'll learn something when we play our first tournament game and go through the tournament.
I mean, there is a lot of, the league is very old. There's a lot of talent. AJ Green's been around. You guys played a Drake team 2 days ago that has a ton of experience. When you look at these experienced players, you guys are going through this your first time. What do you see in those guys that you see in yourselves and that you can kind of bring up from yourselves that they do? I mean, and I don't mean like specific players, but what makes them the best players on their teams? What do you guys see in them that you see in yourselves that you can bring to the table at some point?
I'll speak first. you know, I just want to say, like, you know, those guys, you know, those veteran guys on all these teams, you know, they're good players, but, you know, to me, personally, I'm honest, like, I don't see anything in them that I see in myself. I feel like, you know, on me, but at the end of the day, those guys, you know, they've been through it and they know, you know, how to make winning plays down the stretch in the valley, you know. When you got a guy like AJ Green, you know, he's been through the ringer in the valley, so I mean, he's, you know, maybe since his freshman, sophomore year, whatever, he's had the ball a ton of times, you know, able to make plays like that, and you know, not just AJ Green, but I think you know, him and North Carter, like 77, 75 minutes somebody together, one turnover. So I mean, like that just goes to show, like, you know, those guys are big time players, and that's what they do. So.
I'll just say, like, if I was to take something from all the elite players in the conference, it's probably two things. Just their poise after making a bad decision or making a good play. You can kind of just see, like, their straight face most of the game, you know, and just, you know, ride the roller coaster, like Coach Cho says, you know, the highs and lows. They just kind of stay even keel, and I think I could be way better at just being even keel and taking taking care of the ball. I probably lead the whole nation in turnovers. You know, I just be throwing the ball and losing the ball everywhere. And that's not me, and I feel like I'll be way better doing that coming forward.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.